know you can't get enough of Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Hospital bills are often a surprise, and not the good kind. But you may also be surprised to learn that you can get 50, 75, or even 100% off those bills. Thanks to a new law, there's a good chance you're one of the 4 million Washingtonians who qualify. Whether or not you have health insurance, the law requires hospitals provide the care you need at an affordable cost. So, ask your hospital or visit affordablehospital.wa.gov to see if you are eligible.
Join Rainier Avenue Radio from 5 to midnight for Sunday evening sound sessions. Jazz from the Cabinets from Big Poppy.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy.
Sergio LaCour's Love Lines.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell her who we talking to.
Sage Prince and Just My Opinion.
This is Sage, and that's just about going to do it for the first half of Just My Opinion.
K-Fox Nightbeat with Nasty Ness Rodriguez.
It's the beat of the Fox. K-Fox Nightbeat, Nasty Ness.
You know what? You're going to listen from 5 to midnight. Just turn it on and don't stop. DJ Alibaba. The Underground Surround Sound Star Time with Paul Pearson.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Pearson.
Sunday evening sound sessions on Rainier Avenue Radio. Trust me, you'll be listening the entire time from 5 to midnight. Sunday evening, your sound session on Rainier Avenue Radio. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth is having financial security and not having to worry about it for yourself, your immediate family, and future generations. It's a very elusive idea to me personally, because it's not something in my immediate experience, and it's only something that I'm learning about a little bit more in theory and knowing or trying to know if that's like a real possibility for someone like me.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world. Check us out on social media. Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio .world, and on Twitter at Rainier Av Radio.
What's up, everyone? Wow, I was sitting here talking to myself the whole time. I'm surprised. Yep, I just seen your message, Daniel. You're muted. This is what happens when you have a preoccupied mind. Okay, look, let me do a check-in with myself and get my life together. What's up, everyone? You are watching Clean Greens Living, broadcasted live here on Rainier Avenue Radio. I am your host, Queen Bri. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm so excited to be here. There's just so much on my mind today, and I think we're really going to talk and unpack it. I don't have a guest today. Aww, it is just me. So you have to listen to me talk this whole time, but just okay, because I'm a fun person. I'm going to open it up with the land acknowledgement, and then we're going to get this party started, okay? You like, look, I'm speaking things in existence, Daniel. He said he likes Queen Bri living. I like that too. I might have to work on something with that. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Coast Salish, past and present. We honor with gratitude the land itself for the Duwamish, Suquamish, Nisqually, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot tribes. We also acknowledge what has happened on this land to impact the lives of the Black community in Seattle due to redlining. The systematic and oppressive mechanisms of anti Blackness, racism enacted by white leaders and politicians. If you are a family that was robbed from being able to pass down traditional wealth, being made to sell your property in the Central District due to redlining, please contact us at blackdollardays.taskforce.org or Clean Greens Farmer Market and share your story with us. We would love to hear from you. There, we're still in a process with Black Dollar Days Task Force of working for reparations with those families. And what's in that commercial that I love before Clean Green before my show comes on, what is generational wealth? What is that to you all? Join the conversations with Black Dollar Days Task Force as they talk and Rainier Avenue Radio as they talk about what's generational wealth and work to find ways to bring reparations to communities who were not able to do that for their families. All right, we're gonna get started. I want to send a shout out to Lakeside Middle School last week. They were so awesome. That show was so fun. I loved it. I loved the questions that the students had. They were really good questions. The students really presented themselves well. I love the whole setup. Lakeside Middle School. I don't know why I keep wanting to call this school elementary. They are middle schoolers. They are working with Clean Greens. They're doing community work in their schools, and they're working with different community partners to find ways to help and give back. And one of the things with Clean Greens, yeah, definitely. I bet you it was fun for you, Daniel. But no, it was a fun show. Daniel has jokes. Look, I'm covering my screen in case he wants to be funny again. But the students are going to be working with Clean Greens and finding ways to help us get more involvement. So I'm super excited to see what they come up with. It may be another social media takeover. It may be a fun commercial that they come up with. This is exciting. I love working with the youth. It's exciting to see their brain works, and then they're a part. This is showing them how to be a part of their community and how they can help, and it is effective. Our Amy Yee Garden is coming along. I'm so excited to have this community/youth garden coming up behind the Amy Yee tennis court in Seattle. We have some work dates coming up. The 8th of April, the 15th of April and the 22nd of April, it will be our planting day. So the 8th and the 15th will be like the heavy lifting, the setting the foundation for the garden. And then April 22nd will be our planting day, which is also Earth Day. Exciting. For those of you who do not know what Earth Day is, it is a day that we celebrate Earth, celebrate the planet that we live on, and find ways that we can give back and take care of our Earth. Climate change is real. It is happening. It has been different. Weather is happening in different cities and states all over the place that don't normally get this weather. We have been having extremely long winters lately, you guys. Climate change is real. And how can we come together and find effective ways to take care of our Earth? One of the ways that Clean Greens does is we make sure that when we farm, we don't use anything that is harmful to the earth, that is harmful to our bodies. We are all about all around health and how we can give back. So we make sure that when we're planting, we are not using harsh chemicals for the ground. And we're making sure that our ground is healthy to grow in. And we talk about that more on Earth Day. I cannot wait. It's so exciting to open up this garden and to talk about sustainable ways to take care of your body and this earth and your community. And I keep saying community because community involvement, community engagement is important. Our CSA signups are open. If you have not yet grabbed a CSA, please grab a CSA. I don't want to toot my own horn. Actually, I can't toot my own horn. We did a survey, and our CSAs have told us from their own words that they love our CSAs. They love our family-oriented community. They love our mission. They love what we're doing here at Clean Greens. I love what we're doing here at Clean Greens. You're getting to be a part of a community. You're learning how to take care of your body. You're learning how to grow food. I just love it. And then the youth portion of it all is super fun. The kids love it to the point where they keep looking at me like, Debo, like, when are we starting back our youth program? We will be starting it back soon. One of the meet and greet dates will be April 22nd for the youth to come and engage and get to know us and what we have planned for this year. Our youth signups are still happening. We can have up to 30 youth, so we still have about 10 slots left. If you are interested in signing your youth up, or if you are youth and you just actually know if you're youth, you shouldn't be listening to me unless it's later on in the day because you should be in school. But if it just happened to be later on in the day and you were listening, we have our youth signups for our youth program this year. We are going to be learning all things about growing, planting, community again. There will be bees in the mix. I cannot wait. Figuring out how we're going to work this in with the kids and the bees because we want to make sure no one gets stung. But we'll be learning about bees and how they play a part in growing. We'll learn about farming. And youth that are I want to say 6th grade and up, you get community service hours because I know that most schools ask that teenagers and middle schoolers have these community service hours. So not only do you get a small stipend, the stipend is kind of small, but hey, you get some lunch money throughout the week, but you also get community service hours. So if you are a youth ages 5 to 18, please contact me at Clean Greens Farm and Market.com or Black Dollar Clean Greens. You can email me and let me know that you want to sign up for the youth program. So I'm excited about that. The youth program, Amy Yee Garden, farm updates. I'm super excited about what's going on at the farm. I hear there are lots of seed starters out there. If you have been listening to the show, we have been talking about gardening and how you may start your own garden. One of the things we talked about is it is almost time to start planting, guys. Check that almanac on your internet. What does the almanac tell you when you can start planting? For the state of Washington, it is almost that time. We are headed into April. I can't believe it is almost time to start planting. But before we started planting, we started seeds. And if you are looking to start your garden, you're going to be looking. If you haven't seen the show, or if you have seen the show, we talked about knowing if the seeds you want to starts in the starter. You start it in the greenhouse first, or if it goes straight into the ground. So knowing those things before you start planting, should you start your seeds in a greenhouse or can they go straight in the ground? Are you planting moon versus last frost? What else did we talk about? Knowing your seeds, planting, knowing your soil. So those are the things that we stopped off on. But right now at Clean Greens, we have started our seeds and they will be ready to go in the ground later on this month, early May. I'm so excited. I know that we have salads already growing out there and I cannot wait to taste our salads. The salads we had are so good and I'm just so excited about that. So you guys, I want to pivot. I'm all excited. I was all excited talking about Clean Greens, but I want to pivot to something that is just so serious. And this is why I kept saying community, community, community. And this is why I always mention community in every show, because community matters and it means a lot, especially in the state of urgency we are now. Yesterday, we all witnessed and saw, well, we didn't witness it, but we saw on the news that there was another mass shooting, another one. And I always wonder, like, I guess because it's at a school, is that why some gets exposed as far as the others? Because this isn't the first mass shooting of the year. This is like the 130th mass shooting of the year. And, you know, sometimes this is why I don't watch the news, because it's just so sad and so it's just too much sometimes. But this is important to talk about when we talk about these mass shootings and these school shootings. I have kids in school. And it is always scary. I remember my first experience with the mass shooting at school was Sandy Hook, and we are still here. How are we still here? This is crazy. According to ABC News, there has been 9,800 people killed so far due to gun violence alone. And I've been hearing, so gun violence is the leading cause of death for children, right? We know this. This is new. I know there's been debates about what's the leading cause of death for kids, but it's gun violence, guys. It's gun violence. And someone tried to dispute that, saying, well, gun violence, they included gang violence in these numbers. So really, that's kind of skewed. And it's like, it's not skewed, because gun violence is gun violence, whether these kids are in gangs or whether these kids are just minding their business going to school. Gun violence is gun violence. And how are the gang members that people are so worried about getting these guns? Guns are too accessible here in the United States. And this is not nothing about political things. This is real life. People are losing their lives to something where it can be, there's something that can be done about it. We really, what are we planning for in this world where people need multiple assault rifles in their homes? This is real. Like, I took a gun class with a few women one time. We took a a self-defense class and gun class. They taught us how to effectively take care of ourselves and defend ourselves if someone attacks us. And they taught us how to hold a gun and to shoot it off. And you guys, it is very serious. Like, to own a gun, one of the things I think that people should be doing when you own a gun is taking these lessons. I think anyone who buys a gun, it should be mandatory you take lessons. Everyone thinks you just hold a gun and it's just so simple, easy, shoot. And it's like, no, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. When I held the gun and all that ran in through me was all the mass shootings in the world. All the mass shootings in the world, all the people dying senselessly due to gun violence. And it's not just mass shooting that is happening with gun violence. It's people killing themselves with gun violence. These are two things that are taking people's lives. And there's something we got to do about it, right? There's something we got to do. And when we talk as individuals, we always feel like we got to take on the whole world. And then when we feel like we got to take on the whole world, it makes us not want to do anything. It makes us want to sit back and hide. But we cannot continue to sit back and hide and let this take over our world. It is only March of 2023, and we have had 130 mass shootings. 130, and it is only the third month of the year. And they are projecting that this is going to be the deadliest year of gun violence. And that's crazy to me. And it just makes me sit here and wonder, one, I always think, should I take my kids out of school? Should I homeschool? But we can't protect ourselves all the time as much as we want to. We can't stop things from happening like that, like staying home. Protecting my family and protecting me isn't stopping the situation. It's only protecting a small group of us. And it makes me think about when Emmett Till's mother said, what happens to one of us all of us should care. All of us should care. And a lot of us don't. We only tend to think about ourselves, right? Because my first response is, I'm gonna take my kids out of school. But that's not the answer, guys. That's not the answer. How can we work together to stop this or to eliminate it? I know that we talk about everyone has a time to die, but we also have to be responsible for this, right? It can't just be like, oh, this is life, this happens. We have a responsibility to get up and do this work. And I was trying to figure out ways we can give back or figure this out. And some of the things that we are already talk about doing are some of the ways that we can start to take part in lower in stopping these mass shootings. One is community involvement and community support. A lot of times, if you look at a lot of these mass shooters, they have been teased, they have come from low income families or come from families with money. I mean, like it's different people, but the main core is not being supported. The main core is not being supported. You cannot be supported with low income family. You cannot be supported in a family full of money. The main thing is community support and community involvement. Are we making sure that we are involved in our community and making sure that as much money that keeps getting taken from after school programs, our programs in schools, our families that can't afford to enroll their kids in after school programs, making sure that we are, as a community, even in our church communities, we are creating programs for our youth. We are creating activities for our youth. We have to make sure that we are out here in our communities doing effective, positive things for our communities, checking in on these children, checking in on our peers, your friends, the elders, everyone, checking in on people's mental health is not the leading cause for people to kill people. It is a factor, but it's not the leading cause. It is a factor. So make sure you're checking in with people, making sure that they're okay, making sure that they're getting the help they need. No, it is not your responsibility to take on that role. Making sure that you're just checking in with them and saying hi, making sure that you're giving them resources or showing them resources where they can get help. So community engagement and community involvement is one of the ways that we can start helping eliminate gun violence. This is real. A lot of people, I know people think, well, how is that? It's a start. It's a start, guys. People always want to stop the start because they want to think about how is that going to stop it? We're just mere people. When you show someone love, someone else shows someone else love, and someone else shows someone else love. It's a cause and effect. You're getting out in that community and you're showing up and you're showing people that people do care, people do love them. And that makes them think twice before they want to harm someone. Gun violence. Making sure that if you have guns in your home, whether it be assault rifles or regular firearms, making sure that it is locked up, making sure that your gun is locked up. A lot of the kids who are harming themselves and harming others have gotten guns from the homes of their parents. Making sure that your guns are locked up, making sure that you have the proper training when you have guns in your house. Take it upon yourself to go get training on guns. It is not easy as you think of owning a gun. It's not like I'm going to go buy a gun to protect my home. Sometimes you're harming your home more than the person who was going to come do anything. And knowing just because you have a gun still doesn't mean that you can fully protect your home. You have to be in imminent danger to even use that gun in your home. So is it worth having the gun in your home and harming your kids? Or is it worth you making sure that you lock up and you have other systems in place? But if you decide to have a gun, make sure it's locked up. Make sure it's locked up. Another way that we can help ourselves is being aware of the red flag laws in your state. I didn't even know there was a red flag law. I'm over here doing research on how can I be a part of a system that helps stop gun violence? And I found that out. That look it up, red flag laws. That is a law that protects people. So if you feel like someone's going to harm you, if someone's made threats against you, you see someone exhibiting extreme behavior, aggressive behavior, someone talking about harming someone, you can go to the courts, you can file a petition, and the courts will strip them of their rights of having their gun until further investigation is done. So please know about the red flag laws in the state of Washington. We do have them. Being aware of red flags in your family and in your community. Are you seeing someone? So many mass gun shootings have been warned. We have been warned multiple times about someone running to cause harm by them posting something on social media, by them exhibiting extreme aggressive behavior. They went from being sweet to being angry. They went from being light to being this dark soul walking around. They've had this fixation on talking about guns, this fixation on being a mass gun shooter, this fixation on taking out a certain group of people in the United States. We be aware of these red flags, be aware of your surroundings. We have gotten so desensitized by what's around us. I even with just violence period, I seen a video and it broke my heart of a young man who had he was special needs, and a group of kids were attacking him and harassing him in a group in public setting, in a public setting. No one stepped in to do anything. What happens to one of us should be the business to all of us. Everyone's so consumed on protecting themselves when if we don't stand up as a group of people, as a United States of America, the land of the free, if we don't stand up and take care of people, it's going to come to our home sooner or later. So stop being scared to stand up and make a change and take up for someone. If you see someone being harassed out on the street, please say something, do something, call the police. If you see someone exhibiting random erotic behavior and talking about guns, buying a whole bunch of ammunition, feeling like they need to stock up on guns, preparing for a war, do something. Do something. We are in March of 2023 and we are already at 130 mass shootings. And that's not even counting for the suicides that are happening in the United States due to gun violence. We are glorifying guns too much. I'm not here to strip anyone of their rights to bear arms. I am here to try some way, somehow, to save our community. And it just takes doing one thing, which is showing up for your community, showing up for one another. I would like to say, we talk about, it's always, we're sending love and we're sending prayers to these families. It's more than just sending love and prayers to these families. These families are hurting. But what are we going to do to help, literally help? With prayer comes action. With prayer comes action. Faith without works is dead. We can send our thoughts and prayers. We can send our love and prayers. But what are the actions that we're doing to help stop this? Look, I hate to get into actually, I don't hate to, but I'm a believer. And God has given us the choice. God has given us the will. He has given us the mind frame to do something. Do something. Get involved in your communities. Get involved in your schools. Take the time to check in with one another. Know the red flags of everything, the laws in your state, the red flag law for guns, knowing the red flags for when someone shows signs of being a mass shooter, buying too much ammo, building forts, building bombs in their garages, speaking about it, even if they make a funny threat and say funny, haha. No, you call the police, you make a complaint. Make a complaint, whether they're serious or not. Make a complaint, because 9 times out of 10, you never know what's going to happen. People can be funny. People say crazy stuff on social media, but that one time you don't say anything could be the time that there's a mass shooting that happens. If someone is saying something about their health on social media, check in with them. Just say hi. Just say hi. I care about you. Show them love. Send them a resource. Just show up for others. People who are showing exhibits of mental health withdraw. They isolate. They talk about death. They feel trapped. They feel hopeless. We have to start showing up in our community. Another thing, and I'm not just saying this because I work for a nonprofit farm, they said grow a community garden. If you grow a community garden, if you come partake in community gardens, we are not the only community garden in Seattle. There are so many community gardens that are coming up in this town. Get in a community garden. Once you get in there, it's a whole different feeling gardening. It's a whole different feeling being on a farm. It's a whole different feeling. You're getting connected back to the earth. Get connected with your community. Know the red flags. Know the red flag laws for guns in your state. Whether you live in the state of Washington or not, there are red flag laws in every state. Thank you guys for joining me here at Clean Greens. I'll see you next week. Bye.